Hey, Chi baby. Today is the 20th of June, and yeah, we woke up pretty early together. You woke up at about a little after 5, and a rule in our house is that any day of the week, no one gets out of bed until 6. You've gotten pretty good at when you'll sit up and you might whine a little bit or you might play a little bit, early 5 o'clock. I'll look over and, tell you, hey, Chi, it's time we have to go back to sleep. It's not 6 o'clock yet. And every time, you'll lay back down, grab my hand, and go back to sleep. And then sometimes you'll get up again, but most of the time you'll sleep another hour or hour and a half. Yeah, it just I like the rule, and it seems like you're acclimating to it well. It's kind of a prep time. We're about a month away from baby number 2 coming, and so we need to get clothes out of the attic for the newcomer. We think it's a boy, so we're calling it the second one little baby brother. And then we got to wash them, and then we got to do some meal prepping too. So this weekend, just as mom and me have time here, I'm going to do the attic stuff, but we'll be kind of splitting on the washing clothes and cooking and prepping meals. Too, I'm going to be making our shepherd's pie and chicken bacon Alfredo. That's one of Mama's favorites. And Mama's going to make some dishes too. I know she wants to make poppy seed chicken, and I'm going to see if I can get her to make a chicken curry too. I love her chicken curry so much. That's just kind of the update today. Thinking about raising 2 of you now, and it's just kind of it's another one of those things where when you were first born, like, it didn't process with me right away that I was a dad or I had a daughter. It took a few days, and then it's finally kind of clicked. It's not really processing with me that I've got a second child coming. I'm sure it will once it happens. It'll be interesting to document and kind of see how my mind's processing all that, but it's just surreal that it's like holding another little, like, fresh child, and he's going to do the same thing that you did. So it's just, I'm really excited, a little nervous because our birth plan this time around is very different and very much geared towards us being more comfortable with the whole birth process. Just because we're having the birth here at home and trusting a midwife for the first time and getting all the things we need, just in case we need like a temporary NICU or, this and that. So the whole thing with that, I don't need to get into that. But I was thinking a little bit, and I was talking to Mom about this, but I was thinking about just how we need to just treasure these moments. You have 2 siblings before you that were never born. They were miscarried. And it was something where, Mom, even though they were miscarried, she took photos once she knew she was pregnant and took pictures of the bump, took pictures of this and that. And, she has those photos. She has those memories. She, has written down how she felt and those emotions, and she remembers those moments very well. And now, even though it's years later, she can look back at those and just be very thankful and grateful for just those moments, even though, the time, was limited. I'm not saying that to, draw tears or anything, or to, I'm just saying it to kind of communicate that life is precious. I'm living with the intent on growing very old and seeing you grow up and, raise your own family. And I'm even trying to invest in myself to be able to stay alive so to see your kids raise families too. But we don't know how much time we've got on earth, and we don't know, you know, what it's all going to exactly be like. We do have some control, good decisions, weigh into, the outcomes, in a number of different ways. Those good decisions weigh in, but ultimately, a good chunk of it's out of our control. There's so many different variables. And so, that just goes to say that, just treasure each day, live each day purposefully, make plans, try to, see if those doors open up, and, don't be upset if doors close. Mistakes are made, and you can always learn and self-correct. I remember too with you that I beat myself up for a little bit, but it wasn't totally my fault. We bought a formula milk that was kind of a backup milk because we really wanted to breastfeed, and Mama, had something going on that prevented us from doing that solely. So we needed that, but we really tried to research and find something that was free of a bunch of junk, and we thought we found something. And then they misadvertised their product, and it turned out it was one of the formulas with the highest amount of aluminum in it. Again, it's not our fault, but we fell victim to misrepresentation by that company. And as soon as we learned about it, we got you off of it and researched and found another one. And that one, so far, fingers crossed, is a good one, and they're doing their product well. And then, just, recently we bought a bunch of wipes that, had, it was hypoallergic, free of parabens, and all these other things you look for in just clean, like, washcloths. And it advertised that, and then a news article report showed that it was full of toxic plastics and a bunch of other junk in it that did not meet what was advertised on the box. And, it's not our fault. We were not told the truth, but we got you off of those, and then you tried to find another solution. Consider bamboo washcloths, and just keep a bunch on hand, and then use that for cleaning, and then just they go in the wash with your cloth diapers regularly too. That'd be two examples of just, you're trying to do the right thing. You meet, where there is error and mistake. You don't just beat yourself up. You self-correct and, move forward. But all that to say is that, there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be pains in life. There's going to be this and that. It's still precious. It's still worthwhile. It's still good to hone in on why you're living this life. We're trying to instill that, life is worth living because it's essentially learning to walk with God and to obey and do his work, which, summed up is to enjoy him and love the people around you. But, as far as specification, you get to decide that and how you spend your life. And, I'm trying to, instill that lesson early that, if you don't pick the things, people are going to pick the things for you. But, ultimately, it is your decision. You can let somebody pick your path for you, or you can pick it. But I do hope you find a purposeful path, and that you just cherish each day that you live, because it is worth hanging in there, and it is worth just seeing great things result. Big one is marrying your mom. I was 35, and that happened, and then having you as a result. Just hanging in there. I love you so much.